So yesterday we spoke a lot about ways in which PMS and hormonal imbalance shows up in a woman's body and what are all the factors contributing to the same. So we have our nutritionist from Anyo, Chandni, with us. You might have seen her content post wellness tips on Anyo circles very frequently. And some of you are also taking one-on-one consultations with her and seeing great change in your lives. We are so glad about it. So today what we are going to talk about in the topic of hormones, PMS and you is all about dietary and lifestyle changes that we can make in order to manage PMS symptoms, right? So in that aspect, Chandani, I would like to start with this question to you. Can you tell us about the lifestyle changes that we need to, make as a beginner when we want to work on our PMS symptoms in a way that we want to manage it better? What are the initial lifestyle changes that we need to start making?
Thank you for the question. So like you mentioned, for a beginner, what would be the lifestyle changes that would help them manage the hormonal imbalance? So first one is definitely going to be stress management, because even yesterday, as we discussed, how stress really messes up with the hormone levels and shows up in a lot of ways. So, for stress management, as a beginner, it's not needed that we do 1 hour meditation or 1 hour yoga session or things like that. Really small and simple things like even 5-10 minutes of journaling or 5-10 minutes of meditation or a few minutes of walk, as little as 10-20 minutes or something. Or even some people like to ground, like they like to keep their feet in the soil or in the grass. So any one of it, it's not, I just gave an option, like a plethora of options, so that one can start with whatever seems easy and convenient given the time and resources. So even starting with one of them would be very helpful in managing the stress levels, and thereby cortisol levels will come down, and the anxiety and things like that also will come down, and the intensity of the depression or even irritability, things like that that we discussed yesterday, the intensity comes down. So one is about stress management, and like I mentioned, 5-10 minutes of practice also will help here. And second would be sunshine. Like we know that vitamin D is a sunshine hormone or sunshine vitamin. So for sunshine, I would say in the morning it would be very ideal for us to get some sunlight exposure, say 10 to 20 minutes. What it does, especially in the morning, is that a lot of people working as working professionals also have sometimes night shift or deadlines, and thereby their sleep routine actually gets messed up. They're not able to sleep on time, or maybe they are using screen late at night to attend to some calls or things like that. So for that, getting sunlight exposure in the morning, even for few minutes as 10 minutes, can help them regulate their circadian rhythm. So to put that simply, it means our body's sleep and wake cycle that could be beneficial. So as we know, sleep is connected to a lot of things like digestion, weight, cravings, and so many other things. So if we are able to get some sunlight exposure, that would be great. If not in the morning, still we can do it a bit later, around 11 to 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., something like that. So whatever, wherever we can start, that would be of great help. And the third lifestyle change I would suggest is some physical activity. So some people enjoy lifting weights, other like dance or maybe say Zumba session, or as simple as walking, cycling, or swimming. So there are multiple options again. Whatever is convenient to us, or maybe say there is terrace in our home or apartment, that is the most convenient. Then we can start with there. Or if we want to do some home-based Zumba sessions from YouTube, that is also there. So whatever is doable, we can start with 20-30 minutes, and then we can of course take it as per our schedule permits. So these are some simple changes in terms of lifestyle that can help a big time.
Great, great. So all of these lifestyle changes, they start with de-stressing ourselves, our body and mind, is what I understand from what you have shared, right? All of these are de-stressing ways to de-stress ourselves, and also to align to a routine, so that we are able to connect with our body better, its rhythm better. In another aspect, what plays a major role when it comes to our health and symptoms around PMS is diet. So, can you talk about how a healthy diet can help in managing PMS and hormonal imbalances, and what that diet should constitute of?
So when we say a healthy diet, that means there are major macros, as in some complex carbohydrates, some fats, protein, and then micronutrients, which like vitamins and minerals. They should be there, and it is often a bit, confusing for laymen that what is a balanced diet, how will it look like. So, like I mentioned, all these nutrients should be there in the right proportion, as in there is not too much of only rice or only carbohydrates in our plate. Instead, we are also having some vegetables which can give us some vitamins and fiber. So, be it a person likes it in cooked form, soups, or salad, that is completely up to them. The thing is, we need to get more of these vitamins and antioxidants from fruits and veggies. And also, of course, protein has its place. And all of us might have listened about protein and muscle building, but other than that, a surprising fact here is when we have enough protein in our diet, it also helps reduce the intense cravings that we get around PMS time, because protein is very filling in nature, so it will keep you full for a longer time and thereby prevent the cravings. So it can be boiled eggs or chicken in your meals if you eat non-vegetarian. If not, even a cup of dal, legumes, sprouts, or chickpea salads, they are great sources. So we can go for them. And for vitamins and minerals, of course, fruits and veggies are great source. And for minerals, that would be there in some dals, things like that, and also nuts and seeds. So that will help, and that is about how balanced diet looks like, and how is that going to help us with our hormonal imbalance and PMS would be that when we take all of them, we can make sure that there is not excess of just carbs or just fat. So that will make sure that the weight gain, which is often related to hormonal imbalance, we are able to work around it and gradually weight loss happens. And also healthy fats help in our brain functioning, brain development as well. So like we talked about brain fog that can also hamper our productivity yesterday. So omega-3 from nuts would be of great help here. So that is there. And of course, a lot of fruits and vegetable can help reduce inflammation, which often causes extreme cramps or pain for multiple women. So antioxidants would be of great help here as well.
Okay, so when you mention two things that actually got highlighted for me is, first one is nuts and seeds. And when it comes to hormonal health, we are hearing a lot about seed cycling as a ritual that women can follow in a certain phase of the menstrual cycle, so that it is leading to good benefits when it comes to hormones. It will be great if you can throw a little bit light about that, followed by telling us more about antioxidants. What are the foods through which we can actually uh, gain them? So, two questions for you.
Okay, so first answering about the seed cycling. Yes, a lot of us have been listening about it since 1 or 2 years, and it goes viral. Those kind of content goes viral. So we often think that, okay, it must be true. So here is the nuance. The thing is seed cycling, where we talk that there are total of 4 seeds: pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, sunflower, and sesame seeds. So we say that there are 2 phases in our menstrual cycle: follicular and luteal phase. So we say that, okay, you should be taking 2 seeds combination in one of the phase and another 2 in the next phase. So it has some particular vitamins and minerals like selenium, and also there are omega-3 fats in them that actually help with the period irregularity and the cramps. So while part of it is true that yes, these seeds are a powerhouse of multiple nutrients, that can definitely help a woman with her period irregularity or PMS symptoms. But that alone will not help you, overcome these challenges regarding the hormonal imbalance or period health, because that, uh, in relation with our overall, like I mentioned, stress management, overall diet, and sleep routine, all of that, that will give you long lasting results and overall like mood related benefits and all of that. So only these changes, only the seed cycling may give you some benefits for sure, but when you combine it with a holistic approach, overall lifestyle change, you will be seeing long lasting and major benefits. Hope that answers.
Yes. And when it comes to antioxidants, can you explain a little bit about how they help and what are the foods through which we can get them?
So antioxidants basically what they do is they fight off the free radicals, like free radicals as in causing compounds in our body. So that if there is too much of damage causing free radicals in our body, then there would be inflammation. More inflammation meaning more cortisol, more stress for our body. So that also intensifies our cramps related to menses. So to reduce all of that and also to reduce the inflammation related weight gain and other harms that can happen, antioxidant will fight off those free radicals. And what are the sources for them? So bright colored fruits and vegetables, like say red, yellow, orange, or green colored fruits and vegetables. Says berries are great. Dark green leafy vegetables, which are locally available in each of the states, different varieties could be there. That would be of great use. Carrots, mangoes, papayas, strawberries, and things like that. A lot of fruits and vegetables are going to be really helpful. So it's not like, okay, if one cannot afford berries, they can go for the cheaper ones like papaya or pomegranate. So it's not like only the costliest vegetable or fruit is only going to help. There is multiple options, so we can always go for whatever is accessible. And nuts and seeds are also great source of antioxidants. So of course we can go for them like almonds, walnuts, or the nuts like pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds. So again, we can start with whatever is easily available, and then gradually we can explore more of these sources.
Okay, all right. So next question I'm going to ask is all about, so now you actually listed down how we can build a preventive routine, in the sense like, nurture our body more with the correct type of nutrients. So next comes the real place where we are facing the cravings. So although we do all of this, there will be a phase in the PMS time where we are going to be facing cravings, right? So how do we manage these cravings? Are there alternatives we can reach out to, and like, make it a habit to kind of cut down on the harmful cravings and move on to replace it with a healthier alternatives? How can we manage the cravings, Chandani?
Definitely a great question. I guess it will be very helpful for a lot of women because cravings, be it for sugary food or for savory food, a lot of us do face it at some point of the time. So a few pointers here. One, like I mentioned earlier, uh, a good amount of protein in our diet can actually help you reduce cravings to a large extent. So, like I mentioned, be it that we eat meat, or if we don't eat meat or eggs, then we can always go for dals, milk, curd, and soya products, things like that, which can help us reduce cravings in the first place. And in case we do get, then in terms of sweet cravings, fruits or maybe a few pieces of dates or fig can be a good alternative. And dark chocolate can also help a lot. And preferably, let's go for at least 70% dark chocolate. At least 70% should be the cocoa and not too much of sugar is there. So that way, a few pieces of that dark chocolate can help. And also, like I mentioned yesterday, I believe, often dehydration also intensify the cravings and hunger. So having water or maybe coconut water or buttermilk, like water or else other fluids also at frequent interval, that will also prevent the thirst. That thirst and hunger are often confused. So that we can work around, and that is going to help. And also magnesium deficiency often causes cravings. So if we are able to take more of food which is rich in magnesium, example the legumes like chickpeas and all the other dals and sprouts, things like that. And also nuts and seeds would be a great source of magnesium. So those in small amounts. When I say nuts and seeds again and again, does not mean we should be eating in large quantities. 1 or 2 tablespoons a day is good enough, because large quantity again that could be high in fats and we don't want that, it causes other sort of problems.
Yeah, that's really valid. And all of these, I think, requires a little bit of planning from our side. Although we get the knowledge, the awareness, um, like yesterday, you mentioned that we have to track our cycle mindfully, and we can also factor in that I need to kind of include these kind of foods like magnesium rich foods or more hydration. So develop it as a habit for first month, second month, third month, so that we can like once we know that we are in the 2 3 days before the menstrual period, we remember that we have to reach out for more fluid intake, and we have to
Mm.
reach out for some healthier craving alternatives. So it's important to stock them around that time, I feel.
Yes.
So a little bit of meal planning might help, isn't it?
Definitely, a bit of, shopping, grocery shopping done accordingly. Like when we know that, okay, PMS, the period date is approaching, 1 week before, if we are able to plan and stock them, it could be very handy.
Sure. And is there, I want to talk about the nutrient supplements, right? How should we go about taking nutrient supplements? Do they really help or play a role in managing PMS symptoms?
Nutrient supplements have their role for sure, because a lot of nutrient deficiencies are seen, especially vitamin D is a nutrient deficiency that is present in at least 80 to 90% of Indians. So, vitamin D also acts like a hormone and also can help us reduce the joint pain and fatigue that a lot of Indians actually face. So, vitamin D supplement can help. While I say that, I want to be very clear that we should not go about popping vitamin D pills as we please. One should always get the test done, consult a doctor with the reports, and as per the doctor's guidance, we should go for the dosage and the duration which is mentioned. Because vitamin D, when taken in high doses, that can have another set of problems. So, be it vitamin D or any other supplements, like even magnesium supplementation can help here. If you ask how does that particularly benefit me with the hormonal imbalance symptoms, it could be magnesium has a very calming, soothing effect on our body. So the sleeplessness that often a lot of women face around PMS phase, or anxiety, or even bloating, these kind of symptoms will be relieved by magnesium supplementation. Here again, let's consult a doctor so that we are not overdosing ourselves. So that would be great. And omega-3 fats, they again have a good role to play. Of course, there are food sources, but for some people, a supplementation can majorly help here. And if we talk about how is omega-3 helping us with the symptoms, so omega-3 has a particular role in our mood and brain functioning. So be it brain fog or the depressive symptoms that some people face, it is going to be very helpful there. So these are some. Apart from that, calcium supplementation also has a role, especially if there is a calcium deficiency. So again, blood test can tell you if one is deficient in calcium, and then they can take it for a particular number of days as suggested, and that's going to help us with the cramps or the fatigue or joint pain that some women face around this phase. So, just to say, takeaway: magnesium, vitamin D, omega 3, and calcium. And also, B6 really helps with the mood related symptoms that we face, like anxiety, irritability, mood swings. So, best to always consult a doctor, so that if you're taking any supplements already or any medicines, they can tell that, okay, should you pair it up or should you take it at another time? Maybe we are taking something in the morning, they can tell you if it's safe to take it along in the morning or maybe at a later time, lunch or after dinner. Hope that answers your question.
Absolutely. So, before we wrap up for the day, right, you have actually brought an array of nutrition based solutions for different PMS types, I think. So, like you have mentioned rightly on the slide, like we have to manage our stress and emotions better, because it also affects our food intake on how well it is absorbed and digested. If you can throw a little bit light on that for us, and also present us some nutrition based solutions which we can make note of and implement in our food routine, it will be great.
So, like I have mentioned here, that stress and emotions need to be well regulated or well managed so that we can actually see improvement in our PMS symptoms. Because when we are stressed, too much of stress is there. For some women, they get more hunger, more cravings. For some women, it actually reduces their hunger. So maybe they're not able to eat as much food. So if you're not eating enough food, the nutrient intake is low, so that can impact us negatively. Or for some women who have excess hunger around stressful periods, then they might be eating the wrong kind of food. Like they might be ordering something on Swiggy or Zomato and maybe eating desserts at late night to, calm themselves. So that way, excess sugar or carbs, which might come from desserts, that can again wreak havoc with our hormones, because excess sugar is not good for our hormones. And like I've mentioned, it impacts our food because the hunger is affected. And also nutrients absorption and digestion would be definitely impacted by our stress levels. Like one might have noticed that when we are stressful and when we are eating, sometimes we feel that there is diarrhea. Like some people get stress related diarrhea, anxiety related diarrhea. Then in those cases our body is not able to absorb the nutrients, it just passed away in the feces. So that way, even if we eat some healthy food, it's going down the drain literally. So it's important that we are able to manage the stress, either be it journaling, meditation, or soothing music, or talking to our loved one. These small practices will go a long way in making sure that the food we eat is actually used and helps our health overall. And talking about the nutrients, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So, like I mentioned, magnesium rich foods actually help us with cramps, bloating, and also with sleep. So, the sources are mentioned here: green leafy vegetables, nuts, seeds, and legumes. So, they can be very helpful. And then, like I mentioned, protein and even complex carbs. Complex carbs meaning something that takes longer time for our body to digest, say whole grains like whole wheat, millets, quinoa, whatever is easily accessible, we can go for them. That will help us with the cravings, like reduce the cravings. Then phytoestrogens basically means the naturally occurring estrogens which have a very light effect. Like it's not very strong as the estrogen our body produces, but it has a good role to play, and it will also help us reduce the manage the PMS related symptoms. So the sources are mentioned here like flax seeds or legumes, especially soya beans and soya products are good sources of phytoestrogen, so they can be taken in moderate amount, maybe 2 or 3 days a week is good amount to take. Then processed food, a lot of chips or noodles, packaged products, things like that, or high sodium ones like sauces and packaged pickles, they have heavy amount of salt and sodium. So, like I had mentioned, there is some fluid retention or weight gain related to this. If we are able to avoid it or reduce it during the PMS phase, then we can also avoid this fluid retention and uneasiness. And fiber rich foods like especially fruits, vegetables, and dals, they can help prevent and manage the constipation that often happens for a few women before PMS, like before the period starts. So that would be great. And vitamin B6, of course, it can be either from food sources like dals and fruits, or it can be the supplement again in consultation with the doctor, can help with our moods. So maybe people can take a note of it so that it helps them in the coming days.
Absolutely. This is a very well, detailed suggestion on what kind of foods we can include in our food to manage PMS better. So as a way to wrap up today's session, what would be your top takeaways? If you can just give us a recap or like a main points from today's discussion on how we can manage PMS better. Like you have mentioned, we can do what is in our power to manage PMS. So what are your tips for that, Chandni?
So like I mentioned, nuts and seeds are great source of magnesium or omega-6, omega-3 fats. So taking them daily in 1 to 2 tablespoons is a good amount so that we are not again having too much of fats. So that is something we can make a routine of, maybe around the evening time as a snack, or maybe in the morning, or to top off some salads to add crunch. We can take them. Then fresh fruits and vegetables, at least 4 to 5 servings, as in it can be 400 to 500 gram that we can take. Again, it is rich source of antioxidants, so can help reduce the pain related to inflammation. Then whole grains like ragi, jowar, barley, millet, things like that, they can be taken. Again, that will help us reduce the cravings and also help us with weight loss if there is any weight gain. Then inflammatory foods like sugar or deep fried foods, they can be avoided so that the inflammation related to stress can be reduced. And relaxation, of course, has to be a priority. The way to relax can be as per the person's choice. And screen time, if we can reduce it half an hour to 1 hour before our bedtime, that can actually improve our sleep, like the time taken to fall asleep, that will be greatly improved. And physical activity, like I mentioned, be it walking, swimming, cycling, weightlifting, dance, whatever a person likes, they can try to do that at least 4 to 5 days a week to remain active and also to manage the emotions. Like a lot of us might have experienced that when we go for a walk, we feel instantly calm and better. So a lot of physical activity has that benefit on us. And sunshine exposure, of course, again would be helpful for improving our sleep wake cycle, and even vitamin D intake, it would be helpful. So these are the major takeaways. We can start with following at least 3 or 4 of them and gradually incorporate more of these tips.
Yes, I was actually about to say that we can start with incorporating one or two of these, and slowly, incrementally, we can introduce more ways to nurture ourselves. So, as a woman, we do a lot of things, but taking care of ourselves sometimes takes a back seat. So, but that is not an excuse anymore. We need to first put ourselves first and take care of our body and mind. Like our nutritionist Chandni has given us a lot of suggestions on how to empower ourselves during the PMS phase. I hope this was a useful conversational masterclass for you with a lot of key takeaways. So, in order to work further, if you are facing very severe symptoms, for example, which you're not able to manage on your own, or even as simple as you're trying to develop a routine but you're not able to stick to it or follow through, you can always book a session with Chandani on Anyo app, and she will be able to be your accountability partner in terms of implementing some of these lifestyle changes that you want to make in order to manage PMS or any other hormonal imbalance related issues. So we hope this was useful for you, and thank you so much, Chandani, for taking us through these solutions. And we hope to see all of you in another masterclass soon on a different topic. Till then, stay tuned with us and stay on track with your wellness through Anyo app. Thank you so much for today, and thank you, Chandani.
Thank you so much.